Alright, welcome back again to Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. We have a huge update and patch notes coming in from the official developers that tackle a lot of the problems that we have had burning in the community recently. They do talk about some buffs, nerfs, future updates and connectivity issues, future drops that are going to be coming into PvE and PvP, balancing, and a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and jump in. If you guys do enjoy this video, please drop a like down below and subscribe. Let's try to get this video to 200 likes. That would be absolutely amazing. It would help out so much. But otherwise, let's go ahead and jump in. So first off, it says, dear Space Marine 2 players, we recently launched our community-oriented platform, Focus Together, and you made good use of it. Then they talk about basically the first Q&A and the community basically bringing up the problems and things they want to be talked about, and this is what this is. First off is the Year 1 Battle Plan Battle Pass basically, and they do talk about a lot of the changes that's going to be coming in. In September, we have ultra-wide support, private PvE lobbies, battle barge sparring arena. Season 2 is going to also include new PvE missions, lethal difficulty, the Neo Volkite pistol, and a new enemy. Season 3 is going to include new PvE missions, new PvP game modes, new PvP arenas, new enemy, PvE prestige ranks, a battle barge expansion, and Season 4, Horde mode, new enemy, and a new weapon. The season battle pass also includes later down the line the Ultramarine's cosmetic pack, which we have now, the Dark Angels pack, and also some further changes and some more packs down the line in Season 3 and Season 4. Then they go ahead and talk about the connectivity issues. We know some of you are experiencing server issues, loss of saves, or impossibility to connect with friends. We are ramping up our server capacity to reduce the loads on them and are working day and night to reduce the issue. This is a top priority for the team. A bigger patch is planned soon to improve this topic further alongside new content. So yeah, they are planning on actually fixing the connectivity issues down the line, probably late September as they previously mentioned. Moving on to AI bots. Questions. Bots are regularly mentioned as inefficient, making solo games significantly harder, and you suggest we work on them. According to you, they don't participate in focusing on objectives or don't do enough in intense situations. The answer to this, they said, bots seem a bit passive because we don't want them to take on the spotlight from the player. However, they can sometimes be a bit too passive. In the next patch, we have a few improvements of their behavior against boss fights in the campaign. We are also considering improving their involvement during specific objectives in the campaign for a later patch. I mean, to be honest, I would rather them make them a little bit more stronger in operations, but hey, maybe we'll get that down the line. Next up, they do talk about the campaign. Veteran difficulty is said to be too hard in solo as the bots don't help with objectives. We will adjust the veteran difficulty in a future patch. It will remain challenging, but will be slightly bit more fair, because we want to tweak AI aggressiveness on this difficulty. Other difficulties will remain untouched. Now they talk about PvE. Balancing. Assault is often listed as less powerful than other classes. The jump pack in PvE loses its versatility compared to one in the campaign. We are still collecting data on this issue to see how we can work on it. The blocking weapon trait is seen in the community as a bad thing for melee weapons as it removes potential for mastery, because there is no perfect parry window. We fully agree with this as a bummer and will definitely make changes in the future patch. Then they talk about the bolt rifle family is underperforming while meta gun is considered OP. We have noticed a bug where the melter allows the user to heal above the consented health. We aim to fix this in the next patch. As for the rest of the weapon balancing, we hear you. Some of the weapons can under-deliver on the power fantasy as a higher difficulty levels. We recognize that enemies can be too bullet spongy on higher difficulty, which is not much fun. This is a core issue rather than the bolters themselves. For now, we are testing some tweaks in difficulty to make the enemies have less health but keep engaging difficulty. Now yes, I have heard that the melter is pretty damn OP, while some of the enemies in higher difficulty can be very spongy, leaving you in a really difficult situation. I have basically moved down to a lower difficulty because it's just easier to farm without having to really focus on like bullet spongy enemies. So hopefully that does get changed. Next up, they do talk about the quality of life. You asked to be able to have several of the same class. In operations mode, there are also frustration in the matchmaking when two players want to be the same class. For now, we are focusing on improving matchmaking so that you will not be make with friends of the same class. This is not an easy fix, so we will take some time to roll it out. As for using the same class, we don't want to change that rule for regular matchmaking, but we are considering it as an expansion for private lobbies in the future. It will take us time to finish it. Now, I really don't like that. Just let us use the same class. It's really not that big of a deal. It really isn't. It is observed that players tend to show toxic behavior as they get kicked late during game modes by a group of friends to let their friends get the XP. We understand this is unfair and each player will receive XP based on his actual involvement in the mission. Saved loadouts don't include skill tree customization, making them less relevant. This is not a priority for us at the moment. It's kind of weird how a lot of these things are just not a priority. Strange. About PvP matchmaking. You have suggested making it possible to tag a squad of 6. We understand this need. We want to add custom PvP lobbies and give players more control over the match. For example, frag limit, class restrictions, etc. It's not that easy to make it as it takes time, so please bear with us while we work on it, and we will let you know when we have a clearer visibility and when will this be released. Now, it seems like a lot of these things are just like, we don't have time for it. It's not a priority. It's not this, it's not that. Honestly, it's not looking good. It really isn't. These changes, just make them happen. I know they say, and I'm not a developer myself, but it can't possibly be that hard to do these simple changes. As I'm aware anyway, many companies have kind of proved this. Next up is balancing. It was brought to our attention that shock grenades are OP. Also, many of you consider melee to be underpowered. Assault is considered weak in PvP, bulwark is overpowered in capture zones, and heavy is overpowered, too much damage, its durability. Regarding PvP balancer, we are currently reading and crunching the data. We don't want to make rash decisions before seeing the global picture. At the moment, we are checking the most common topics such as melee balancing, shock grenades, bulwark, and heavy being too present in capture modes. Expect some tweaks in the first content patch but not before. Okay. It's just weird. It really is kind of strange. No team balancing after matches creates unbalanced matching for several matches in a row. We have heard this many times and we want to improve this in future patches. We are looking into it. Next up is spawning. Spawning locations can create spawn kill situations. This will be tweaked with some parameters in the future patch. We will implement spawn protection. Now here are some of the most upvoted topics on Focus Together. Are we getting new colors for the lenses? New lenses colors are planned and coming in the next big patch. You're asked to pick the Chaos Space Marines legions you want for every classes. There are many law restrictions preventing us from doing this. For instance, we cannot make a sniper with a World Eater armor. It is very tricky to match armor pieces for Chaos. Armor pieces have different sizes and styles, will clip through each other, etc. Also in PvP, it is important to be able to recognize an enemy class, and we want to keep the visual identity of each of them. Now we will not keep it as it is and would like to expand Chaos customization, but the reality is they won't be as a modular as the Loyalists, okay? Many of you have asked for new classes. This is definitely something we are heavily discussing, and then a new class is quite heavy on production, and we also need a create and all the customizations, PvP Chaos model variants, the animation, set dependent on where we go for. We'll keep you updated on this topic. About the missing armor colors, we aim to expand specific masks such as hand, decals, face masks in upcoming patches. We will be adding all the successor chapters eventually. Adding new melee weapons. New melee weapons would definitely be an extremely cool addition. Making a weapon and designing it is fine, but we need to make all finishes animations for it. It will take time. Customizing your Marine's face. Not a quick fix, but we'll add an option to change your Marine's faces. Optimizing PvP crossplay. We need more time to discuss that. Custom PvP lobbies will solve a good part of this issue. Now, okay, great that there is going to be custom PvP lobbies, but is that private? Because private isn't really going to make a change. A full team or a full lobby needs quite a lot of players, and I don't know about you guys, but I have like 1 or 2 people that I play with. Making a custom PvP lobby isn't going to really be a fix for that. We'll see how that goes. Thunderhawk customization. Doing a full battle barge on Thunderhawk customization is very cool, but not up to our priority list. We prefer to focus on our art teams on creating new maps. the Pyroblast in PvE and PvP. We will add it and will make time because of visuals and gameplay progressions will keep you updated. To be able to customize the AI squad mates, still in discussion. Delete custom armor profile. We worked on this in the next patch. We will be able to overwrite a custom preset with a default one. And then next they talk about the FOV slider and left and right shoulder swaps. I think this should be a already element in the game. An FOV slider is not something we are comfortable with, as it can degrade the visual aspects of the game, and on top of that, it is very complex. Our game is not a first-person shooter. The camera that we have is very cinematic and constantly changes position and FOV based on what you are doing. Still, we understand this is a very popular request. We are also considering it anyway. As for the shoulder swap, we are to implement shoulder swap. We will need to support it for the melee animations and transitions because everything in melee combat was made based on the fact that you hold a pistol in the left and a melee in the right weapon in the right hand because it looks badass. Nevertheless, shoulder swap is a feature we will not add in the game. Get rid of class restrictions on cloaks and tabards. These parts of class identity, you will get recognized snipers because of those elements. Iframes on gun strikes. Gun strikes are a risk reward action and it's very easy to spam. We specifically did not put an iframe on for balancing reasons. We are not looking to change this in intention. So yeah, it seems like they are really focused on what they want in the game. Basically, they don't want the changes because of lore and because of visuals like the FOV slider and the right and left shoulder swap, which was actually already a mod. If you want that, just put the mod on. Honestly, I probably will do that. I mean, it just makes the game better. I know a lot of reasons why some of these, specifically this company, I haven't really seen this in a lot of companies recently, but obviously Warhammer 40k is so damn rich in lore that they just want to stick to the lore. A lot of people go crazy for the lore, and yes, it's amazing, but this is a video game and you will lose players if these changes don't happen. I'm sorry to say it, you guys obviously understand this. We've seen it so many times. We've seen it in the first Descendant, we've seen it in Call of Duty, we've seen it in Destiny, we've seen it in so many games. If the changes that the player base do not get them, people will leave. I don't know if they don't care about this. I don't know if they really don't prioritize player feedback, because a lot of these issues are like, we'll look into it. It's not a priority. In the next big patch, we will get the skill, the spawn fixes. We will get the connectivity issues in the next big patch. It's kind of weird. I don't think it's a good thing. This update came as like basically just to kind of shut us up about a lot of the problems that we're basically asking for. I don't know if you guys agree, but this is how I see it. A lot of these things are just kind of brushed under the table. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, we're talking about it. We'll update you later. I don't know. You guys let me down in the comments what you actually think about it. The game is great. I really hope that we get more changes later down the line and actually get fixes that we want. I'll see you all on the next one. Let's have a discussion in the comments.